Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm so excited to be with you today for another installment of my masterclass, helping you find the best ways to live and create the path redefined in your life for you. I am so grateful that you're here with me. I'm really looking forward to hearing your questions because this week's topic is personal. It is something that really hits home for so many of us. And as we're doing these master classes, I really want all of you to be able to learn, to grow, to get something new that you can actually implement into your life in this moment, like starting tonight, this week, at work, in your life, in your career, to help drive and create the success that you want and that you deserve. And it's also why I'm creating a bigger course, which is coming out really soon in the middle of May, on the 15th to be exact. And if you sign up early, all of the links are down below in the description box. You'll find links to learn more about me, to follow and join the journey of living the path redefined. If you're on today's live masterclass, you also already have access to our private Facebook community full of people who are there and committed to making sure that you also don't fail and that you have a confidant, a cheerleader, a supporter every day on your journey, and a place where you can ask your questions and keep this conversation going above and beyond today's masterclass. But by joining and signing up for my course, again, the link is down below, you will be able to get also a free signed copy of my best-selling business book, The Path Redefined. And you'll also get some free and early access to another community that we're building specifically for people taking a deeper dive by taking the complete course on living the path redefined. This week, we're going to talk about who can you count on to call you out. And I think it's really important because we hear so many people talking about, like, who's your hype man, who's your wingman, your wing woman, who's that person, constantly, amping you up when you need it most. And we don't ever hear people talking about who can we count on to be real, raw, honest. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we might not want to hear it. But I have found that it's the things that we think we don't want to hear that hurt us most when we hear them from the people who are not closest to us, right? I'm going to repeat that. It hurts us most when we hear the things that we don't want to hear from the people who are not as close to us, right? Because that means that the people who are closest to us saw something, recognized something, and allowed it to go by, and allowed us to not level up, to not improve, to not do our best, to not refine our approach, to not come up with a better strategy, to not work harder, because they opted to not say something. Now, sometimes it's simply because they're not equipped with that ability. Sometimes it's because they don't think that they have the permission to call us out. But I think that it is so important to make sure that we have people in our life, in our circle, in our tribe, in our network, in our ecosystem, who on one hand, yes, can love us, support us, and help amp us up, but who also on the flip side of that are unabashed and unapologetic about saying, hey, you are not on your A game right now. I haven't seen you being consistent. I haven't seen you, working at your 100% output consistently. I haven't seen the Lauren, the you, the me, the we that I know we're capable of being. And those are the times and the people, again, it might hurt us. It might be really hard to hear, but we don't want to hear it from the outside world, right? And so I'm a big believer in what has made a lot of my success possible and what can absolutely make your success multiply is by making sure that we refine our approach and that we take those deep dives, those harsh criticisms, those constructive criticisms, those difficult conversations, that we have them in trusted spaces and that we take those moments to reflect, to refine our approach, to make things better, and then to go back out into the world. And if we can pick apart everything that we're working on doing, whether it's ourselves, whether it's the way we feel, the way we look, the way we show up, whether it's our business, our idea, our revenue model, our strategy, our story, our narrative, our bio, our resume, whatever it is, Imagine if you had a jacked up resume and you were looking for a job and everyone who was closest to you told you it was amazing. It was fabulous. It's fantastic. And then you go out into the real world and you had a job interview and somebody tells you that your resume is just subpar, or you missed something really important, or you shared something in the interview about yourself or your career, your accomplishments that does not come through on the resume. You're going to look back at the people who are closest to you, who love you, who maybe took those inside looks at your resume before you applied for that job and told you, oh yeah, it's great. And I hope you turn back to them and say, why didn't you tell me I could have done better? And so we don't have enough people who tell us that we could have done better. And I have a few key people in my life who are very, very willing to call me out. And I don't always like it. They know I don't always like it, but it's necessary and it helps me to be better and to grow. And let me just make sure I'm checking the comments. Do we have any questions here? Not yet. Okay, everyone, please chime in, ask your questions. Like, who has had a situation in their life where that's happened to them? Something along those lines, where you feel as though you have gotten that, that inside access, but you feel as though it wasn't 100% honest because it wasn't giving you the full-on criticism or feedback that you needed to do better. I'm sure you had an experience like this. I certainly have, and I'm going to go ahead and share mine with you now. It actually happened when I started, before we launched the masterclass, when I was just writing weekly emails to all of you. And people were really loving the emails, and I still write them every week. I'm much better about writing them every single week. But I went through a period of time where I was questioning myself. I was questioning, are people, okay, they're opening them. Are people really enjoying them? Are people really reading them? Are they really, impacting your life? And then my life got busy. And I knew that people were loving the emails and I was getting great feedback. But my life got busy. I didn't really necessarily prioritize writing the newsletters, even though I really wanted to. And it was something that I was doing out of passion at that time. But I had a responsibility, right? Because what I was doing out of passion was impacting your life and was impacting the lives of other people. And I got a call and a text from a dear friend of mine who had been reading the emails, and they'd been impacting her life and touching her and hitting home on topics that were important to issues that she was struggling with. And she straight up said, hey girl, Lauren, I haven't gotten a newsletter in 10 days. What is happening? It's supposed to be every week, and it was coming like clockwork. What's going on, girl? Like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it because people are here waiting. Literally, I was like, what? Okay, I know she's right. I know she's right. It was hard to hear it. It was like, oh man, you caught me red-handed. I slipped up. I was inconsistent. But that message from her made me write a newsletter that night. And I wasn't thinking about, is it on the same Sunday or the same Saturday? Because at one point we were doing them on Saturdays and then sometimes we went to Sundays. It was, no, write the newsletter, get it out in the world. And it didn't matter what day it was. It mattered most that I was going to work at being consistent. And I thank that dear friend of mine, you know who you are, CR, but she called me out, and it has kept me consistent, and it's gotten me here today with you on this masterclass and creating worksheets and the community and building the course and doing everything that's so important to the work that I love to do and the work that I know can help you multiply and find new ways of success in your life, in your career, and in everything it is that you want to achieve. And so I think when we look at these circles of our friends and our networks, it's so easy to just get caught up in what's cool and what's popular. And I want to encourage all of you to not think about and not worry about if telling someone the truth or telling someone real honest feedback is going to potentially ruin your friendship or ruin your relationship or stop them from coming to you as an open and honest ear. Because if that person really truly wants to grow, they're not going to shy away from that feedback. They're not going to shy away from those constructive criticisms. Make sure that they're constructive, right? Because there's certainly a way that you can get on someone about, napping on their A game, and it can really dampen your soul. It can dampen your spirit. It can be a big deterrent to your motivation and to your drive. So, of course, there's always a way to give these words of criticism and of feedback and to call someone out in the right and appropriate way. So please make sure that you do it in a thoughtful way. But that honesty is so important because we don't have enough people doing it. We don't have enough people who are that vested in our success that they are also that vested in making sure that we don't fail. They're two separate things. Pushing someone to be successful and pushing someone to ensure that they don't fail is separate from pushing someone to be successful. And it's important that we have people who are in our orbit and our tribe that encourage that kind of behavior and that they feel as though they have the permission to be able to support us in that way. And so it also falls on us as individuals who are committed to being successful and driving, new ways of business and revenue streams and marketing and storytelling and personal branding. It's important that we tell our ecosystem, our family, our friends, our colleagues, our loved ones, our network, you do have the permission to call me out. And I tell my circle all the time, please call me out. If you see something I'm doing that's not right, if you see something I'm doing that could be done better, if you have a resource that I should be using or utilizing, please let me know. I give you that permission. Because sometimes people just fear that being that honest is going to kind of put them on the chopping block of your friendship or your relationship with that person. But if we can keep those circles and those conversations so honest, and we know that we can count on people to call us out, we are going to be able to see our lives, our careers, our success, our finances catapult. It can come down to a decision that you're making, whether it be a housing decision, a moving decision, a job decision. It can't just be, oh yeah, girl, oh yeah, man, that's great, go for it. If you know something that can help that person grow, but it's hard to say, find a delicate way to say what's difficult, but say it. Don't let the moment pass where you don't give someone that opportunity to have a 360-degree view of where they are in the world relative to where it is that they want to go and who it is that they want to be. And when our friends, our communities, and our circles know what our goals are, know what it is that we're trying to accomplish, it enables them, combined with having our permission from saying, yes, you can call me out, please, please, yes. Those two combined will ensure that we don't take steps in vain, will ensure that we are supported and equipped with both knowledge, with passion, with expertise, and that we are also aware of the potential pitfalls, of the downfalls, of the potential failures, of the potential hazards, right? Because we're not living in this fantasy bubble where we're only being told, yes, 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 go, go, go. Someone has to also be there to kind of caution you. And if you think about sports, right, you have a teammate who's going to say to you or call out a play based upon what they can see around you that you might not be able to see. And this is how I equate and feel about my circle and my community having that permission to call me out. Like, they are my teammates with me in the battlefield, whether I'm on this journey on my own solo, like I am right now. I'm here with you on my own, but I have a support system of people around me who make sure that the way I show up for you is the way that I know can be most meaningful in your life. How? They know who I am. They know what I'm capable of. They know what I'm passionate about, what I'm an expert at. They know my track record. They know who I can touch, who I can impact, and they know the work that I want to continue to do on a larger scale through these masterclasses and then eventually soon through my course. So they see my here and my now, and they also see my impact and my ability, but they also see the future and the potential, and they understand who I can help, how I can help them, and how purposeful and how incredible and how powerful all of that can be when it's combined. And when people can understand all of those different touch points, right? It's like a maze. And when you have people in your life who can understand every piece of the puzzle, every piece of that maze, they are so well versed in where you're going and how you're going to get there, that they are most qualified actually to tell you, hey, this is what we need to do better. This is what we need to do differently. or this is how we can amplify or accelerate or avoid something that might be a concern. Because as much as we all work really hard, there is something called tunnel vision, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. It's something that allows us to just be insanely focused, like insanely focused. But at the same time, we're human, and that also means that we might miss the opportunity to make something better because we're so focused on the here and the now or the immediate next, that we might not see the things that might stop us or hinder us from getting to the immediate next as quickly as we could. And when we have people in our life and in our career who we can count on to call us out, they keep us honest in so many ways. They remind us of when and how we started and what that message was then, and they make sure that we stay consistent in all aspects of who we are and what it is that we're doing. We've also created a really incredible worksheet for you. It's short and sweet, but it gets you right to the point of figuring out who in your ecosystem you should be going to and how you can allow them to feel like they have this permission to call you out and to be a support to you. I'm going to check the questions quickly and see if we have anything here. All right. So I've got no one coming in with some questions. So that either tells me that you guys are getting so much goodness from what I'm just saying right now, or you're a little bit shy. So I'm going to give you all a few more minutes to chime in with questions before I jump into our worksheet. But I really want you guys to think about this. Like, you might allow it in some aspects of your life, right? Like, there are some places where we actually pay people to call us out, right? So I actually want to ask you guys to think about this. We pay people in some areas to call us out. When we go to the doctor, we are paying for their service. They are taking our lab results, our blood results, what have you. And we are paying them and we are expecting them to tell us you're healthy or you're not healthy, or you need to fix your diet, or you need to change, how you're living your life, or how you're exercising, or your blood levels are off, or your cholesterol or sugars or what have you. That's calling us out. We go to the doctor for that specific purpose. If the doctor doesn't call us out and doesn't tell us what we need to do to improve our health and improve our lives and our wellness, and they just tell us, oh, you're doing great, awesome, they're doing us a disservice, right? Because we go to the doctor, you might not think of it this way, but we go to the doctor for accountability, right? It's a check-in, it's an accountability checkpoint, and it is meant to hold us accountable, and it allows the doctor, and the doctor has the permission to call us out. Now, the same thing applies to your trainer. If you have a trainer and you're going to the gym, and even if you don't have a trainer and you're going to the gym, right? When you go to the gym, you're looking for someone to hold you accountable and to call you out and say, you're doing the exercise correctly, you're doing the exercise incorrectly, you're going to see these benefits, you're going to see weight loss, you're going to see tone, you're going to see these different things. Now, with our children, as an example, we might have a tutor or a helper or someone to assist our kids in leveling up in different areas of their academics. We are hiring someone to call us out as parents and to say, hey, this is how you can support your child. We're also hiring that person and asking them to come in to call our child out, to say, hey, yes, you have permission to help my child see what they're doing wrong and learn how to do it better. And so there are areas in life where we solicit it and we even pay for it, but we don't really take that thought process and apply it to other areas of our life where, yes, maybe you can hire a career coach who you hope will be honest with you and call you out. Maybe not. But again, it's the people who are closest to us when it comes to our career, our life, and our success, who are going to know the ways in which they can call us out because they're close enough to us to understand that. And so again, we have to give them that permission. And if you're using that analogy of, a trainer, a doctor, a tutor, a career coach, what have you, apply that to the other areas of your life. And if you can see and correlate that kind of track record of success between go to the doctor, see what's wrong, fix what's wrong, feel better, look better, play better. You can apply that again to school, to tutors, to career coaches, to anyone that you might hire to help you in those sorts of fundamental ways. You're asking them to call you out. But imagine how powerful that would be if we took that same approach and applied it to our life, our personal life, our career transitions, our networks, the jobs that we want, the circles that we want to be in, the goals that we have for ourselves, if we take that and we transform that and allow the people who are closest to us to call us out, and you don't even have to pay them most likely, right? The people I'm talking about who are most influential in my life who call me out don't get paid for it. They're there as my friend and my honest ear, and I give them the same in return. It's reciprocal. Help me out, keep me honest, hold me accountable. I got you. I'm going to call you out. You can count on me for that. I'm going to keep you honest and hold you accountable. Together we will rise. We will live the path redefined. We will obtain new levels of success in our life and for our families and for our friends. And once we get to that really high level that we all, are aiming for, then we also have the ability to pull other people ahead as well. And I hope that you know that you have the permission to call those people out as well. Because as soon as you get to the point where you can start opening doors for other people and giving seats at the table, it's important that you share every single pitfall, hazard, issue, fear, problem that you foresee or that you might have experienced with that other person as well. And that you can be counted on to call them out, to say, hey, look, you have a seat at the table. Hey, look, I've opened the door for you, but you're going to need to level up in these ways because you want to ensure their success. It's coming from a place of positivity, and it's really designed to give you assurance, not to cause you to hesitate, not to cause you to doubt your ability, but to in fact give you the assurance that when you know that you have been called out already within your inner circle, that you have this strength and confidence in your ability to show up whole, having kind of thought of and mitigated against every risk or unknown, because you've done that work and you've put yourself in a position to allow other people the permission to do that work with you too by calling you out. So this week's worksheet is really great. Actually, it's just one page, and it's going to ask you a couple of important questions. Who are the people in your corner? And we're going to start there because there are many different people that can come into our lives and into our communities and into our ecosystems, and not all of them deserve having the permission to call us out. So we need to think about who's in your life in the first place, who's in your corner, and how do you trust them? Why do you trust them? And do they deserve to kind of be a part of what's going to become your most inner circle that you're going to count on to call you out? And then who are the people that you need in your corner? And that's often different from the people who are already in your corner. Sometimes you don't need the people that are already in your corner in your corner. And then we're going to go through and we're going to kind of put them into buckets here. The instigator, the taskmaster, and the example. And then what kind of impact are you looking to make in the world? Again, living the path redefined. And even though, we have a course coming out on the path redefined, the course is going to give you all of the strategies, the tools, and the proven tips to help you drive measurable levels of success in your life and your career. But why you're going for more, why you want the next level, what it is that you're working to achieve, that is personal. There's no course for that. There's no roadmap for that. There might be some podcasts and things to inspire you to think about that, but that is a personal decision, right? So once you make that personal decision on the kind of impact that you're looking to make in the world, then we have to go back and we have to think about the kind of impact that we're looking for our friends and people in our corner to have in our life and our career. Think about it. Is it aligned? It should be. Should be. Doesn't have to be. And if it's not perfectly aligned, then it can absolutely be what I like to call a competing counterweight. So I have some people in my life that are perfectly aligned with my mission and my vision, and what it is that I'm here to accomplish. But I also have people who are not perfectly aligned, but who are perfect competing counterweights. And they are awesome people in my life and in my corner who do call me out as well. And they come to the table with a very different perspective. And we have to remember as well that when we go out into the real world, as soon as we kind of get out of our own cocoons, that there are going to be many different perspectives out there, many different opinions, many different criticisms, advice. Everyone's going to think that they have a way we could do it better, or a way that they think is faster or wiser or what have you. And it's important that you can figure out the people in your life who you can count on to call you out, who represent a few of those different viewpoints. Because again, when we go out into the real world, it's not just going to be a singular focus and a singular point of view. And then lastly, list the people in your network who embody the personal or professional trajectory that you envision for yourself. And when we do all of that, we can create a circle of people who should already be in your life and in your community or in your friend group or your family, who you can count on to call you out, who can keep you accountable and make sure that you don't fail. Because Lord knows there are people out there just waiting for us to fail. There are people out there waiting for us to slip up and to catch us completely off guard. But the people who call us out are vested in who we are, where we're going, and what it is that we want to accomplish. And they're going to be in it to win it with us, the same way that I'm in it to win it with you here today in this masterclass. And I'll be in it to win it with you in our community. So pop over into the Facebook group where we can keep the conversation going. And soon the whole course will come. And again, I'll never teach you, what your passion should be. I'll never teach you, what career or what company or what line of business you want to go into. That's personal. That's based upon your passions. I'm here to keep you honest and to keep it honest with you about what it takes to drive success in your life and your career, and how to take what you're passionate about and learn to capitalize on it, whether it's through entrepreneurship or whether that's through finding a way to make a career transition or segue into another industry or another part of a business that you're already in that you love. And there are really great strategies and tools that are designed just for that I've learned and that I've also created to make sure that you can be successful in living and creating the path redefined. I'm Lauren Maillian. Thank you so much for joining today's live masterclass. Please remember to check all of the links down below. There will be a replay, so feel free. And I do pop back into the video often to check the comments. So if you have any questions, you can pop them in here, or you can also, again, join in the Facebook group. You have the link, and continue to ask your questions there. The full course on the Path Redefined launches on thepathredefined.thinkific.com on May 15. If you sign up before May 15, you will get a free signed copy of my book, my best-selling book, Path Redefined. And I'm just so excited to help you level up in all areas and aspects of your life and your career. You're worth it. You deserve it. I'm Lauren Maillian. I'm honored to be a part of your journey and to be a guiding light in helping you get to the next level of everything you want and deserve. See you next time. Bye.